In this week's update show, we've got high power action on Vialli and Rodriguez, kicking off with the 2400 aggregate. Then the President's Rifle match goes to X count on the last shot of the final. And a junior spotlight on President's 100 finalist, Sabrina Smith. Then the vendor showcase with Acme Rifles, plus the blockbuster that has set the internet on fire, CMP M14s. And Serena has a conversation with Sling guru Jack Jones on 60 years coming to Camp Perry. Welcome to the CMP Update Show, Episode 3 from the 2026 National Matches. First up, the National High Power Championships results. In the CMP 2400 aggregate, James Fox is high overall, dropping just 29 points total for the match. High junior is Eli Graff with 23.54 and 93X. The high lady is Amber Kingshill with 23.67 and 94. And here are the rest of the service rifle category winners. The match rifle results have Christopher Blankenship high overall, and high senior is Jack Jones. And a little extra from the match rifle event, Christopher Blankenship's son Barrett on the line with his Macmillan Tub 2000 match rifle. Barrett just turned 13. It's good to see a junior involved with match rifle competition. Now to the CMP four-man team match. High overall is USAMU Fitzpatrick. Match rifle overall is X-Files. And high junior team is Ohio Rifle and Pistol Association Junior Red. Like with pistol in week 1, there is a small arms firing school for high power, and it culminates with a SAF's M16 EIC match. Here are your top 3. Additionally, there are 24 4-point legs awarded to non-distinguished participants. The cutoff was 377 with 5X. Now we turn to the President's Rifle match. Nearly 900 competitors came to the line to try to make the President's 100, and the top 20 advanced to the shoot-off.
The President's 100 shoot-off is probably the most exciting part of the national matches. It showcases the very top shooters in a shoot-off. There's 20 of them, and they're all neck and neck. There's usually several ties. So whoever wins this is the national champion. This is probably the best thing to watch during the nationals.
The shoot-off came down to the final shot between James Fox and Sam Freeman. Fox just squeaks into the 9, giving Freeman the win on X count. Right down to the last shot.
Yeah.
Talk about making it exciting. How'd it go?
Well, after about shot 6, I had a pulse that was 10 ring to 10 ring. So all I was focusing on was just squeeze the trigger and let it go off wherever it's going to go off. Don't try to force the shot off because I had so much pulse going on. Just like when we were getting ready to shoot shot 10, it looked just like shot 9, but I just stayed in the scope a little bit longer and actually saw that there was a pickup. So then I threw on an extra half minute there for that last shot, and that still was a 10 out the right, and that was with adding another half minute. So
was keeping on top of it for a bit. The holding real tight helped me out, saved me a couple shots, but then in the end, the wind value picked up, and I didn't put enough on that last shot, and came in second.
Here are your top 3 in the President's Rifle match, with Freeman, Fox, and Mitchell rounding out the podium. High junior is Sabrina Smith. High senior is Greg Krebaum, and high woman is Sergeant First Class Amanda Elsenboss. Also, high competitor with an M1 Garand is Travis Gilkey. The cutoff to make the President's 100, i.e. the top 100 in the match, is 288 with 9X. So you've got to be on if you're going to be in the President's 100. And speaking of on, top junior Sabrina Smith makes the shoot-off At just 17 years old, this is only the second time she's shot the match. Sabrina Smith is this week's Junior Spotlight. You shot a really remarkable score for the President's 100 here at 297. What's your X count?
Sorry, 8, not X, yeah.
297 with 8. How are the conditions today?
200 was really nice. It wasn't super windy. I didn't have to really change my no-win zero, and I was first relay, so when I was up there, I wasn't really getting knocked around by wind at all. 300, the wind picked up a little bit, but it wasn't quite what it's at right now. And again, I shot first relay, so I had it easy. I had like the better conditions. I didn't really put a whole lot of wind on for my no-win zero. I had to put a little bit left. And then 600, there's a lot of wind, but it was really nice and consistent like the entire time. It was like, it's been doing that for the past like hour or so, which is great.
So 297's got you in the shoot-off.
Yeah,
you been
exciting.
In the shoot-off before?
Never, actually. My first year placing in the 100 was last year.
Wow.
So.
We were just talking about how compared to air rifle and small bore, this is a different game, but skills still apply, yes?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that actually small bore helped me a lot because after coming back from like the few months break that I took from high power to shoot small bore and like air rifle, my scores actually improved a lot because I was able to build like the positional foundation for small bore and this is like essentially the same, and because I started shooting small bore so much, it gave me a huge chance to like build my position and just like focus on, rather than like reading conditions, focus on like actually like the foundation of it, which surprisingly I had a lot of room to grow in that category, and I didn't realize it until small bore kind of brought it to my attention.
Yeah, and I think now back here in high power, this target seems big, huh?
It does. It's nice. It's nice. I like it, especially at 200 where I'm still able to see like the lines. It's a lot easier because like small bore and air rifle, you get really bad eye fatigue after a while, and this, like, especially moving back yard lines, it gives me a big chance to kind of like settle down, and the targets are a lot different. It's a nice change. I like it.
Excellent. Well, obviously, and you're excelling. First time in the 100 last year. Now you're in the shootout with a really strong score.
It's definitely daunting. It's pretty exciting. I'm curious to see the differences between shoot-offs in high power and shoot-offs in 22 and air rifle, because those are stressful. They're loud.
Well, people get loud.
I was just say the noisemakers.
Clapping and the whole thing.
Yeah. It drives me crazy. I'm not very good at like closing my ears to that, I suppose. Yeah, it's kind of distracting.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes.
I'm really excited to shoot. It's like an awesome privilege to be able to shoot in that, and I'm really excited, especially because like I haven't actually watched the President's 100 shoot off before, because I always like take a huge nap after I'm done shooting.
Well, now you're in it.
I was gonna say,
no naps till after.
Because I forgot my pajamas, I forgot my shooting gloves, I forgot my towels. It was terrible. And I think I still left something at the house, but I can't remember what it is.
Now we turn to the results from the National Trophy individual match. The Daniel Boone Trophy for overall and the Nathan Hale Trophy for high civilian goes to Matthew Wood. Only the fourth time in the history of the national matches has a civilian claimed high overall. Staff Sergeant John Cogshall takes the Citizen Soldier and the Association of the U.S. Army trophies. The National Guard Association Trophy goes to Master Sergeant Kyle Bartman. The Police Rifle Trophy is awarded to Justin Utley. The High Junior receives the Golden Eagle Trophy. This year, it's Anna Benke. Sergeant Mason Shaw takes down the Coast Artillery Trophy. High Air Force competitor receives the Lieutenant Paul J. Roberts Memorial Trophy. This year, it goes to Captain Seth Carrozza. Staff Sergeant Vern Conant wins the 25th Infantry Division Trophy. The Captain Joe Earl Wyatt Trophy goes to Commander Jafar Ali. The High Senior gets the When Hunters Dream Trophy. This year it goes to Dr. Randall Scheibel. Specialist Amber Kingshill wins the Women's Rifle Trophy. Brandon Green is High Overall Veteran. And high competitor firing an M1 Garand is David Olinger. The top 10% of eligible non-distinguished competitors receive EIC credit points. There were 46 legs awarded, and the cutoff, 475 with 12X. Two more important news items. Alan Lansdowne and Staff Sergeant Carl Moore received Distinguished Marksman badges. And James Fox wins the Alice Bull Trophy for his P100 and NTI aggregate score. All of the companies along Vendor Row are supporting the national matches and the competitors, but few take it as far as Acme Machine, the subject of this week's Vendor Showcase.
The way I started in the industry was me coming up 20 years ago and learning from guys like myself now of the industry and the ins and outs of how to come up here and build a match grade rifle, the differences between what you're used to that are a traditional hunting rifle or a sporting rifle, but something that come out here and compete at a national level, what that means. It's a complete package, and what we like to say is shooting the capability of the firearm, so those people that are just getting started, save some money in the budget for ammo, reloading components, whatnot, training some classes. But if you really want to push the limits of tolerances, it's going to take a match grade barrel, match grade triggers, chambers, ammunition, and then the ability, the capability of the shooter as well to be able to do that.
I mean, that you can't buy that.
No, that's the secret sauce. And luckily for us, we work with Veterans Family Brigade, and we've taken over the junior high power clinic up here, which has been a huge success, rebuilding the ranks and the programs with that. And I think you got to see some of that last year. The Marine Corps team coming back this year. It's nice to see Camp Perry growing in the way that it was when me and you were here 20 years ago. Yeah. So traditionally, we've always been known for best value. So that's somebody that wants to buy their first 5.56, a minimalist rifle is what we call it. And it's available in multiple calibers, 350 Legend, 300 Blackout. And that would be our minimalist entry-level package. We have law enforcement variants though too, Department of Homeland Security. It's a little different price point and features, but then you start talking about match grade components and what that looks like. And it's really 3 different tiers of gun. Your entry-level consumer rifle, duty rifles, and then competition. Yep, so this one here is a service rifle, right? And really big in this discipline is the UBR stock. But in the service rifle discipline, you got a 4.5 power scope, right? So I'd say about 10 years ago, they allowed 4.5 power optics, and it really kind of kept a lot of the older guys in the game, and you started seeing X counts go up. And then focusing on match grade components, which includes a half-minute of angle barrel, right? With shooting heavier bullets, match grade components. The competition out here is very tough, right? So, and there's no cutting any corners with the match grade components. It's all about tolerances and knowing that you have the shooter that's capable of doing it. You got to have the gear to back it up.
Yep. How do people find out more?
AcmeRifles.com. And if there's any junior programs out there that's looking for assistance, we work directly with the CMP for that as well.
The Hurst Doubles team match brought 261 teams of 2 to the firing line. And here are your top teams. The National Trophy Junior team match had 55 teams competing. Best among them is MRPC Cincy Red. And the at-large teams match saw 6 teams post scores. Top team there, PRPA Gem City. The Colonel Bill Denke Trophy is awarded to the National Junior High Power Team. That team is assembled from the top 6 juniors in an aggregate of the President's, the NTI, and the National Trophy Junior Team match, plus the coach and captain of the winning NTJT. And finally, the Junior Service Rifle Champion is Eli Graff. We've got a junior profile on him set to run in next week's update show. And speaking of next week's show, we're working to coordinate an interview with CEO and Chairman of the Board, Jerry O'Keefe, on the announcement of the M14 program. What we do know is the news has set the internet buzzing. The rifles will be rendered permanently semi-automatic and fully compliant with the CMP's enabling legislation. Early release projection, later 2026 or early 2027. And we will have more for you on next week's update show. And finally today, correspondent Serena Juknowski gets a rare opportunity to speak with Sling guru Jack Jones.
My name is Jack Jones. First time I came to Camp Perry was when I was 14 years old in 1960 with the DCM. Shot small bore as a junior and through college, and then started shooting high power around 1970 through the present, pretty much continuously. Match rifle since about 1972 or 3. Service rifle is what I first shot, a state service rifle, but unfortunately they were shot out not very accurate. Until I fired a match rifle and said, this is what I'm going to shoot. And I did shoot service rifle. I could not find a good sling. They were much too short, much too thin, and I happened to go to a garage sale that was selling a bunch of leather working tools for $7, so I thought, I can do something with those. Went to a Tandy leather store, bought up some belt leather, and then made a sling, but of course they were pretty thin. So I found down in Millersburg, Ohio, Weaver leather, that you could buy any conceivable leather-related working tools and hides of any kind. And there I could get much heavier leather. And everybody wanted heavier duty keepers that would last, that wouldn't stretch. So after experimentation, I finally was able to figure out a way to use shoe sole leather to make sling keepers, shape and form them on a mandrel. Those are the pieces that will never wear out. Well, I do this just as a hobby, typically make some up in the wintertime when I don't have anything else to do. But I'm not trying to run a business.
And Brandon Green uses it.
Yeah, he's a regular. He's my chief salesman, I'm afraid.
So I've been using Jack Jones slings since I joined the Army Marksmanship Unit back in 2004. That's what the Army had. That's what they, they issued me, was one of his hand-built custom slings. And since then, I've bought probably 20 over the years. Every few years, I'll buy a new one, even if it's not wore out. I usually take these and give them away to a junior, one of my old slings. So I've used these slings through my entire career. So, it's 3 Mountain Man trophies, President's 100 records, Mountain Man records, 3 NTI championships, 4 inter-service rifle championships. So I've been using these slings for all of my entire shooting career. And kind of the reason that I stuck with them over the years over some of the other custom slings is the fact that how well built and heavy duty he makes them. They're much harder to break in when they're brand new than some of the others, but they last quite a bit longer. They don't stretch as much. He builds mine with the custom 1/2-inch holes in between them. These are the ones that I've had him build over the years, so I can kind of fine tune without having to drill my own holes in them. And then the triple keeper that goes over 3 levels of the leather there, and then the twin keeper, the 2-level keeper on the bottom. That makes my sling loop that goes over my arm and cinches down. And again, these keepers are built like a tank. They don't flex, they don't move. They're extremely robust, double stitched, and I don't know what kind of stitching he uses, but it's very, very strong. I've yet to break one of these when I've seen a lot of the other ones kind of fail over the years and come apart. So he glues them and stitches them, and they last forever. So honestly, I don't think I've ever really worn one out. I just give them away and start over and get a new one every few years just for the sake of doing it.
Well, no matter how bad you shot, when you see a national champion using your material, it feels pretty good.
The last sling you'll ever need, if you can get your hands on one. Amazing story. Thanks, Serena. And finally, it's the beginning of the national CMP games matches. Here are the results from the carbine match. And remember, all of the results reported were current at the time of recording. Always refer to the CMP competition tracker if you find a discrepancy. And we'll see you right here next Friday for the CMP National Matches Update Show.